Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn transverse dimension of textile fiber, that is fiber fineness. The learning objectives of this session are to understand concept of fiber fineness, to understand technical significance of fiber fineness, and to study methods of measurement of fiber fineness. Friends, I had given example of a chalk while we had discussion on length of the fiber. If I ask you to report me about the dimensions of this chalk, then as a longitudinal dimension of this chalk, you will report length of this chalk, that is distance between the two ends of the chalk. As far as transverse dimension of this chalk is concerned, you will either report distance between the two edges of this chalk, or you may report the diameter of this chalk, that is D. Right? So, for a chalk which is man-made, we can express transverse dimension of this chalk in terms of diameter D. Very similar to a chalk, for textile fibers, distance between the two edges of the fiber is known as its transverse dimension. As a textile technologist, we have to handle different types of fibers, as has been shown in this picture. Now, if you observe these fibers, each and every fiber is not exactly circular in cross section. Only few fibers, man-made fibers such as polyester, nylon, they have exactly circular cross section. Cotton fiber has bean-shaped cross section. Wool has oval to round shaped cross section. Viscose has serrated cross section. So, in general, it is not at all possible to express size of fibers in terms of diameter, which is commonly used for rest of the materials such as steel wire, chalk, etc. There are different ways to express fineness of fiber. Very first measure through which we can express size of fiber is diameter. We can measure diameter of the fiber using a microscope with cross-sectional view. This diameter measure is mainly used for the fibers which are having exactly circular cross section, such as polyester and nylon. So here I have shown two examples. This is 1A and this is fiber B. Now for A fiber, this is diameter D1 and D2 is diameter for fiber B. Now since D1 is greater than D2, we can say that fiber A is coarser than fiber B. Second measure which is there used to express size of fiber is perimeter. For fibers such as cotton, where it is not possible to measure diameter, we can use a measure called as perimeter. Perimeter is measured using again microscope with the help of cross-sectional view. Here again I have shown two different pictures, fiber A and fiber B. And if you measure perimeter of A, it is greater than perimeter of B. And thus higher perimeter indicates coarser fiber. In this case, fiber A is coarser than fiber B. The third measure which is used to express fineness of fiber with the help of microscope and cross section of the fiber is area of cross section. Here I have shown viscose fiber with serrated cross section two fibers are shown, A and B. Area of cross section of fiber A is A1, while area of cross section of fiber B is A2. A1 is greater than A2, so we can say that fiber A is coarser than fiber B. As far as these three measures are concerned, that is diameter, perimeter and area of cross section, all the three measures, they need microscope. And we need to take cross section of the fiber. We must be very specific while cutting the section. If the section goes wrong, then the measurement of fiber fineness goes wrong. So skilled person is required for cutting the sections, and secondly, to add the variation, we have to take more number of readings. Cutting sections at various places, including number of samples, is time consuming process. And therefore, the next measure is longitudinal view, using longitudinal view of the fiber, of course use of microscope, and this measure is width of the fiber. Instead of measuring cross-sectional view, we can simply place a fiber on stage of microscope, and with the longitudinal view we can measure distance between the two edges. Thus width is next measure of fiber fineness. Here I have shown two fibers, fiber A and B. A has width equal to W1, while B has width equal to W2. W1 is greater than W2, and therefore we can say that fiber A is coarser than fiber B. Especially for cotton fiber, where the longitudinal view is twisted ribbon like, we have to measure width at maximum ribbon width, and thus for cotton the width term has been modified as ribbon width. Here also width of the ribbon is more for sample A than B, and hence we can say that fiber A is coarser than fiber B. Now here, when we consider the measures which we have discussed in previous slide, that is diameter, perimeter and area of cross section, which are measures measured with cross sectional view, and the width or ribbon width which is measured with longitudinal view, all the four measures, they need microscope. And whenever we consider microscope, this method is time consuming. And industry people, they want result quickly. Unlike researcher, mill people or industry people, they have to take the decision quickly. It may be the selection of raw material or it may be process control. And hence, we have next measure to express fineness of fiber, which is linear density. Here, if you look at this picture, there are two different fibers, A and B, right? Now, what we have done is, we have considered unit length. L is the unit length. Now, if you measure weight of this unit length L for sample A and weight of unit length L for sample B, then obviously W1 will be greater than W2. What does it mean? Weight per unit length. W indicates weight of unit length. So, weight per unit length of sample A, of fiber A, is more than weight per unit length of sample B, fiber B, and hence we can conclude that fiber A is coarser than fiber B. Thus, linear density also could be used as a measure of fiber fineness. Linear density is defined as mass per unit length, which is considered as another measure of fiber fineness. Apart from this, specific surface is another measure to express fineness of fiber. The measure specific surface is used to express fineness of especially cotton and wool fiber. Specific surface is defined as surface area per unit volume. To understand this concept, consider this as a chalk. Now, if I ask you to tell me about the surface area of this particular chalk, which area will you consider? Obviously, you can consider area which is over here at this surface, over here at this surface, something like this. So, if this is a chalk, we have the surface available at two sides. This is first, second, and the surface which is there over here. So, from this end to this is available surface, right? Now, if you just cut this chalk, if you make two parts of this chalk, something like this, what will happen? The surface which is there at this portion remains same. This surface remains same. The outer surface will also remain same. But when you cut it, two more surfaces you are going to get, something like this, right? These are the inner two surfaces. Those you are going to get additional, and therefore when you cut the material, when you make the chalk finer, what has happened? Specific surface or the surface area has increased. As far as volume of this chalk is concerned, we have not changed the volume. Volume of this chalk has remained constant, but what has happened when you convert this into finer material? Surface area has increased. Surface area per unit volume has increased. What does it mean? When you make the material finer, then specific surface increases. Same will happen when you move from this to this. If you make the chalk still finer, let us assume you have cut the material from this also, this side also, right? So what will happen? You will get four different parts. Now, as far as the upper portion is concerned, this will remain constant, very similar to the first case. So, upper portion remains unchanged, upper area remains unchanged, lower area remains unchanged, the outer area remains unchanged. Now, here you have got two surfaces, two new surfaces. Now, here how many surfaces you have got compared to the first one? This is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth. So, 8 new surfaces, right? So, when you move from this to this, you are going to get 2 new surfaces, additional surfaces. Well, when you move from this to this, compared to the initial, you are going to get 8 new surfaces. So, with this example, we can conclude that when in given volume, keeping volume constant, if you make the material fine and fine, we get generation of new surfaces. Ultimately, surface area increases and in turn, specific surface of the material increases. More technically, we can relate specific surface and diameter of the materials using this equation. Let us assume this as a cylinder with diameter D. You can consider this as a fiber with diameter D and height h. Now, as per the definition, specific surface is given by surface area per unit volume. surface area of this cylinder is pi dh divided by pi d square upon 4h, that is pi r square into h. Here this pi gets cancelled, 1d gets cancelled, h get cancelled, and you will be getting specific surface equal to 4 upon d. Thus, specific surface is inversely proportional to diameter of the fiber. As we go on decreasing diameter of the fiber, as fiber becomes fine, we get increase in specific surface. So this is specific relation between the specific surface and diameter, and hence we can consider specific surface as one of the measure of fiber fineness. So in all, there are 6 measures of fiber fineness. First is diameter, second is area of cross section, third perimeter. All the 3 measures, they need microscope, and we have to cut sections of the fiber. So these are time consuming methods, required skilled person. Using microscope, we can interpret our result in terms of width also, wherein it is not necessary to cut the section, but we have to use microscope with longitudinal section, and thus width is considered as 4th measure of fiber fineness. Since these 4 measures, they require microscope, these are also known as micrometric measures. These 4 measures are also called as micrometric measures, right? So these are known as micrometric measures. Apart from these 4, as far as these 4 measures are concerned, they need microscope, and these are time consuming methods, and hence we can have one more measure called as linear density. Linear density is defined as weight per unit length, wherein you are supposed to cut unit length of the material, it has to be weighed. Thus principle is cutting and weighing. Compared to these methods, we need lesser time with this linear density. And thus this is next measure of fiber fineness, which is also known as gravimetric measure. This is known as, since it works on gravimetric principle, this is known as gravimetric measure. The next measure we have is specific surface. This measure gives us result very quickly and suitable for mainly the fibers having variations such as cotton and wool. It is suitable for industry people, and the specific surface mainly takes care of the surface area available per unit volume. Fiber having more fineness will have more specific surface. Using airflow principle, we can measure specific surface, in turn we can measure fineness of fiber. We will be discussing this airflow principle in detail in subsequent lectures. So these are the 6 measures which are used to express fineness of fiber. Thank you.